still have income coming in, which is, and my wife and I, the Lord directed us to get debt free a long time ago. So He provided that. So He's been putting us in this position so there wouldn't be a burden. There'd be no agendas, like there's no needs. God's met all of our needs. So that's where we are.
So you want to give to the Lord now and do something for Him.
Well, what it is it's the only thing that I get excited about anymore. I would go to work, then, and I'm telling you, it was like this 8,000-pound gorilla was on my back. Every day I went to the office, and I'm like, God, this cannot be what you have for me. And He would say, wait, until He finally told me to go. And so I said, well, what do I do? Go where? You know, like, where do I go? And He said, go build relationships. I'm like, I don't know how to do that outside of the business world. How do you do that?
Yeah.
He said, go make relationships with every drug addict, clinic, rehabilitation, speak for them, teach their men, build relationships. So that's what I do. I go to them, I speak to them. He said, now I want you to start feeding. So we didn't know that you weren't supposed to, so we started feeding under the bridge.
He's the culprit.
Yes, but we cleaned up after ourselves. But we did feed. And so then what was happening is when we were feeding under the bridge, men were not only accepting Christ, because I believe they do that, some of them 15 times in a year, because they're asked to. And they're going to get something if they do it, whether it's a meal or what have you. But what was happening is we were taking men that day, putting them in our car, and taking them into rehab facilities. So God just said, keep doing it.
Which facilities were you taking?
Trumpet of Truth, Bethel Colony, Redemption House. We would even send them to Home of Grace in Mississippi. I'd fly people, put them on buses. You can see some of the testimony on Facebook. We put them on buses and bus them, I mean not Facebook, but YouTube. Bus them to Florida, because I had a partner there. When the facilities here, we couldn't get them in beds. We put them on an airplane and fly them out there. And we would sponsor them ourselves. Or we would get somebody to sponsor the people for us. So that's what we did for quite a while.
And your ministry is Compassion Outreach.
Correct.
So I just want to, I don't think we mentioned that in the
So
beginning.
you have your own 501c3?
Yes.
Okay.
Compassion Outreach is, sorry.
No, go ahead, Tim.
Compassion Outreach has been a 501c for quite a while. All we've really ever done with it is really just kind of take men that were on drugs and get them out. But the Lord gave me a vision on the way back from a trip that I had to the Philippines. We went to speak and train some pastors. And on the way back, we stopped at the LA Dream Center. And I went into Matthew Barnett's church. And I'm sure everybody but God spoke to me specifically. And He said, I want you to have church in the Sanger Theater, and I want you to have a hotel that has 1,000 rooms that houses drug addicts, prostitutes, and people that are addicted to drugs, and all kinds of whatever. And I said, okay, God. And at that time, that was in 2008, He spoke that to me. That was the pinnacle of the career. So I'm thinking, in my mind, this is going to happen. Like, I'm going to buy this dealership, do this. I started all David Bottner's plans, started going in his mind. So I started buying these businesses. These businesses are going to fund the ministry. So I would buy the business and I would consult God after. You know, you ever did that?
All the time.
All right.
No, not me.
So I did, they failed, and God said, okay, are you done yet? I'm going to do the hotel.
Amen.
I'm going to do the ministry. You're going to do what I tell you to do. And then when his voice started to become more important than my own, I knew that, okay, I'm on the right track. So
It does take you a while to get
it did. It took a long time, because I couldn't believe how much pride that I saw in Hangover. I'm like, how much pride can a person have after you've been at the bottom? Like, what could you possibly have pride in? I don't know. It's still, I'd say, God, keep me humble all the time, because it's sick, you know?